Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be fitting a new fuel pump to our fuel tank and popping it back in the car. But before that, we're going to be bench testing our new fuel pump to prove that it works off the job, to fingers crossed guarantee it works when we put it back in the car. Let's go and take a look. First things first, we've got a new pump. Let's get it out of the box and see what's inside. Right, a fuel pump, electrical connector, and a selection of filters to go on the bottom. And we're going to choose the one that replicates the original on this car. I'm assuming it's a pretty generic kit that will fit a few different cars. A little bit of hose to go between the hanger and the pump, and 2 Jubilee clips. There we go. Now then, before we bench test this new fuel pump, if you want to know how we got to this stage of diagnosing the fuel pump, head back over and watch episode 2. All the videos are in a playlist that makes it nice and easy to find. Now then, brand new fuel pump. I've just pushed the connector on, which only goes on one way. And as you remember from episode 2, exactly the same. The plus is black and the red is negative. So I'm assuming that dodgy batch of pumps, this pump is still part of that dodgy batch of pumps. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the connector on, and then we're going to connect this up to our battery. And we're going to pop the bottom of the fuel pump into a canister of fuel, and then we're going to put a fuel line coming out the top of it into a catch tank. Now, I'm going to wire it up, first of all, in reverse. The plus that's on the body of the unit, I'm going to put to the plus on the battery, and the negative on the body of the unit, I'm going to put to the negative on the battery, because I believe that's the way it should be. Because if it's stamped into the body, that's factory, that's all pressed together and tested, whereas these have just been pinned into the connector. It's possible to get this wrong. Yeah! It works! Winning! Yes, fuel pressure. Fuel pressure. As you can see, that worked, and it worked really, really well. And that is with the cables in reverse. So I would take a gamble on the fact that the person in the factory that did all of these, it was probably a Monday morning and they were probably very, very hungover. But we are going to wire it up in reverse. So we're going to put the red to ground and we're going to put the black to positive. And if you buy one of these pumps, guys, follow what is on the pump body itself, not the wire colours. Let's get this one back out, pour that good fuel back in the pot, and then we can put the pump in the hanger with the sock on the bottom, solder up the cables, a little bit of shrink wrap. We should be good to go. That's all done now, all buttoned up, tightened up, and a little filter on the bottom of it, and she's ready to go back in the tank. So let's pop it in, connect up all of our lines, tighten our screws down, and then we can fit the fuel tank back in the car. Happy days. Right, that's all done now, and the tank is ready to go back in the car. Now, one kind of top tip, if you will, the loom for the fuel pump runs along the top of the tank, and it's very easy when you're fiddling around with the tank right in the middle of the car to lose the loom. So I've run it along the top of the tank and I've cable tied it to the sender loom because they both come through the body in the same place. So in theory, it'd be one less thing to worry about. And also I've replaced a few Jubilee clips and stuff like that at the other end on the stuff that I definitely cannot get to when the fuel tank is in place. Now what we're going to do, me and Rich, is we're going to get underneath, slide the tank in. Luckily it's empty, which makes it a lot easier. And we're going to slide the tank to the front, and then we've left a lot of the tubes and stuff on it, as you can see. And this evaporator, because it's very long and tall, needs to go up inside through the tunnel. You've got the cross member and you've got the tunnel itself. That needs to go through, get fiddled up to the top, and then you can get the hoses in the aperture across where they need to be, and then march the tank up in, 2 straps, tighten up, job done. Ooh. Right, the car's back on the floor. Another job I never, ever, really ever want to do again. It's in there now. Battery's connected. Turn the key. It's dead. So fingers crossed for that battery. Battery's going to go on charge for a few hours. Then we'll try again. Then we'll see if we've got some fuel pressure. Right then guys, it is the next day. The battery's been charged. I've fitted it back in. I've turned the key. And it's still completely dead. So then I had a little route around and I've reconnected all of the electrical connectors on the loom that I disconnected to create access when I stripped the interior for welding. I put it all back together. I got one light on the dash, but nothing else. And then the immobilizer fobber jobber on the dashboard, it had no light blinking on it. Hinged the dashboard down and it all sprung into life. So I've obviously got a bit of a loose connection in there which I need to rectify, but now we have dash lights and we have an immobilizer that is working. So now we can turn the ignition on and then we can bridge out our diagnostic port and then we can see if our fuel pump runs. I can hear a fuel pump running. That does sound positive. Right, I've got no leaks, so that either means I've got no fuel pressure or I've done a good job. So now, hopefully that's all primed. There should be a bit of fuel at that rail. Now I'm going to crack off the flow connector, the 17mm banjo fitting onto the rail. And if there's fuel pressure there, it's all getting very exciting. Whoa! We've got fuel pressure. This is a very good thing. So now we have a new fuel pump and a good second-hand fuel tank. We've bench tested it. We've proved that we got no leaks. We've proved we got fuel pressure at the rail. There's only one thing left to do really. Turn the key. Or we could leave it to the next episode, couldn't we? Sorry guys. Oops. So there we have it. Tank fitted, fuel pump bench tested, installed and working perfectly. So if you enjoyed today's video and you found it helpful or informative, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from us and see us turning the key and getting this car running for the first time in many, many years, don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and one last thing before I go. If you want a little bit of alternative content, then on YouTube, check out a guy called Jim Builds. He is restoring a Ford Cortina. And he's doing a really nice little job, to be fair. He's been doing Instagram bits and bobs for quite a while now, and he's taken the leap of faith into the YouTube sphere. So head on over, watch his content, and support him a little bit. Push him on his journey, because he deserves it. See you soon, guys. Stay tuned. Quite a few outtakes on this one, I think.
Yeah.
Osias, the name in fuel pump quality.
You still get me on there.
Hello, Rich. I can't help but see you at the corner of my eye, Rich. It's okay, it's okay. Oh, there you are. There you go. Right, now that Rich is gone, we can get on and do some real productive video filming. Video filming?
It doesn't make any difference whether I'm there or not.
No, I don't. I agree. Do you want to do this video, Rich?
No.
Please?
No. I've had my 2 seconds of fame.
It was 3, actually.
Ah.
Thanks for your help, Rich. Good stuff. If we haven't, then how do we get power to it? And I'm waffling to the point that I'm going to edit all this shit out, and we're going to move on to some bench testing of the fuel pump. Be the monkey, James! Be the monkey!
Yes.